Okay, so you just got a notification that your ex liked one of your posts. And not just any ex, the ex. The one you were crazy about, the one you wanted things to work out with. The one you would consider dating again if the stars just aligned right or they did a little work on themselves. The one that you'd really want to talk to if they showed up at your door with coffee. So your heart starts to beat a little fast, you feel shivers throughout your body, and you're wondering, what does this mean? You start to spiral. Is this just a like, or is this a message? Do they want you to DM them? Are they looking for a reaction? Are they trying to re-enter your life? Okay, take a deep breath. We don't know what this means. And I know it's tempting to go full-blown true detective and zoom in on timestamps and look through their social media trying to figure out their recent activity, trying to piece together every little bit of information that you can about them, using those pieces of yarn to tie all the pieces together. But let's take a moment to look at this all logically. Sometimes an ex liking one of your posts is as simple as them scrolling through their social media, seeing your name pop up, and thinking, oh, look at what's going on with them. And just hitting like. And that's it. No hidden meaning, no secret longing. They saw what you put up and they liked it. Maybe they've moved on, maybe they haven't. But either way, it's a casual, low-effort interaction that doesn't necessarily mean they want to rekindle anything. It doesn't require a follow-up. It could be a sign of mutual respect or just a way to stay superficially connected. It's okay to just let that be. They liked it, that's it. But there could be other explanations. They could be testing the waters. Sometimes an ex will throw out a breadcrumb to see if you'll bite. Again, it's low risk, low effort. If you respond, they know the door's open. And if you don't, no harm done. They might be curious about your relationship status. They might be wondering if you've changed or if things have changed. Or they might be interested to see if you're receptive to speaking to them again. If you're thinking this might be what it is, take a moment to reflect. What was your past relationship like? Why did you separate? What issues were there? What problems were there? And do you really want to engage with them? Rationally, do you want to open the door again? Or are you just getting caught up in this rush of attention? And are you forgetting about the issues or the problems that ended the relationship? And how do you take this little breadcrumb they threw out for you? If they wanted to have a real conversation with you, why didn't they just message you or send you a text? Or call. If you believe they might just be kind of throwing out little casual messages, then maybe this isn't about really reconnecting. Maybe it's more about curiosity. They want to see if they can open the door a little bit. So if you think that they're testing the waters and they're a little too hesitant to kind of pick up the phone and do something definitive, think about how you really want to respond. Again, sometimes silence is the best response. Okay, here's another idea. Maybe they liked your post because they wanted to take a nostalgic trip down memory lane. Nostalgia is the double-edged sword of breakups. Sometimes people like their posts because they're reminiscing. They're remembering the best parts of the relationship. Maybe your post reminded them of a shared memory, or maybe they just got hit with a wave of sentimentality, and they've been thinking about you and the past relationship you had. This is very common during the holidays, past anniversaries, birthdays, or late night scrolling sessions, when they might be thinking about what had been or what could have been. Their emotions might be a little more unfiltered. But here's the thing, it doesn't necessarily mean that they want to rekindle anything, because the problems that you went through, the hurdles that you couldn't get over, are probably still present, especially if no one's done any work on them. They might have just had a moment, saw your post and liked it, had some positive feelings about you. It doesn't necessarily mean that they want you back. They just had a moment that they were thinking about you. And that's okay. The question is, does this moment mean something to you? Do you want to reconnect? Or are you just getting swept back into the past? Is it worth it to answer this like? Okay. Here's another one. What if they're seeking validation? Some exes hit that like button not because they miss you, not because they're just feeling nostalgic, but because they want to know if you still care, if you'll respond. Maybe they want to see if you'll reach back out. They might be feeling lonely. They might want a little ego boost. If you've been in an on-again, off-again situation and you seem to be getting back together when they need reassurance, be careful. If you've really cut it off with this person, you don't want to re-enter that cycle. This like might be a way of pulling you back into an old situation you've left behind without offering anything really substantial. You don't know whether they've changed, and they're putting in very low effort. A like is very low effort, very low risk. If this person's been very hot and cold, you owe it to yourself not to play into it. It's okay to want more in order to message or engage with them again. And the last idea is that a like is just a like. They liked your post because they liked your post. Maybe it was funny, maybe it was interesting, and they hit the button without even realizing it. Not everything has a deeper meaning. Sometimes a like is just a like, and often we scroll and just hit like reflexively. Whatever the reason, it's okay to feel a little something when your ex interacts with you online, even if it's something as small as a like. You might feel curiosity, confusion, excitement, and these are all valid emotions. They all fit the situation. But before you act on them, take a moment to process. Use the rational side of your brain, not the emotional one, and ask yourself, are you going to make a choice that's actually good for you? Or are you going to respond based on your feelings and attraction and a flurry of hope? Look, it's really easy to spiral into overanalysis. I've definitely been there, but try not to put too much weight on a single like. It's possible they were just scrolling and saw your post in passing. Instead of trying to figure out their intentions, try to look inward and figure out what yours are. What do you want? What's right for you? Do you want to reconnect? Do you want to have a talk with them? Or are you just getting caught up in what ifs, what could have been, and a dreamy vision of who they might be now, with no real evidence that they've grown into that person? Try not to put them on a pedestal and idealize them. In all likelihood, they're the same person that they were when you were in a relationship with them. So before you start drafting a response or rereading old text messages to try to figure out what might be in their head, take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Have they been engaging with your posts regularly? Have they liked more than one post? Have they sent you a message in the last couple of weeks? Or was this completely out of the blue? And what kind of post was it? Was it something personal? Was it a meme? Was it a picture of you looking particularly amazing? Because the context matters. And have they tried to contact you in other ways? Have they sent you any texts? Have they talked to mutual friends about you, asking how you've been? Have they made efforts to reestablish communication? Or was this totally out of the blue? If this is the first time they've reached out in months or longer, it might not mean that much, because it is just a like. If seeing their name pop up in your notifications sends you into an emotional tailspin, it is okay to set boundaries. You can always mute them, unfollow them, or even block them if necessary. Social media can definitely be a minefield when it comes to breakups. And you don't need to give anyone access to your space if it's messing with your feelings of peace. Don't hesitate to block or mute. Trust yourself, trust your gut. If they really wanted to know what was going on, there's better ways of communication. Liking a post is very low effort, and you deserve someone who'll really be upfront with what they're looking for. Don't let one notification from anyone validate your worth. Consider letting the like be what it is, a moment in time. If it means more, they'll send you another message. Let me know what you think in the comments below.